What is up, guys? It's Variety or Jack or Drama, and today I'm a tutorial on my computer on how I make my thumbnails updated. Basically, the last video I did, which I'll link in the description if you want to go see, was how I made a thumbnail with GIMP, which is a free program. Those are some old thumbnails, are not as high quality as the ones I make now. I think the ones I make now are a lot better than the ones I used to make. So this is an updated tutorial on how I make my thumbnails. So hopefully I can show you guys how I make mine and how you can improve your own. So obviously the thing that you're going to need is Photoshop CS6 or Photoshop CC, depending on what you have, depending on what you want to use. Those both work identically for what we're going to do. It's all fine. So that's all you're going to need for this. And so it's pretty easy, guys. Making thumbnails on Photoshop is quite easy, but once you get the program, however you want to get it, you're going to need a few other things other than the program, obviously, to make your thumbnail. So the first thing that you're going to do is open up your browser. I usually just go to Google Images, but you can go anywhere, Yahoo, wherever. I just go to Google Images. I think the majority of us do. And I usually just search up like something like grunge 1920 by 1080 or something like that. So that's usually what I search up, and all these, backgrounds usually appear. Something like this will pop up, or something like this will pop up, although it's 1920 by 1080 it says. But anyways, there's just a ton of different backgrounds that you can use to make your text or put things on for your thumbnail. So the one I'm going to be using today is this one right here. It doesn't show up very well here, but it looks completely fine when you make a thumbnail with it. So after I get that, I usually get some sort of image that captures what I'm doing in that thumbnail. I'm making the thumbnail for this video, so you're going to be able to see what it sort of looks like as the finished product. But I usually try to get an image that captures on what I'm doing. So for this one, I'm doing a Photoshop tutorial, so I usually will get a Photoshop. I'm sorry, my keyboard's right behind my mic, so it's really hard for me to type. Photoshop logo PNG. That's what I usually will just search up for, and something like this will come up. And these are what you're going to want to use. Anything that has like a checkered background like this is a PNG file, which means that it's a clear background. So anything that you put it over, you're going to be able to just see the background and this image. So it works quite well, and I love to use PNG. No, otherwise you're going to have to do a lot of editing on the photo, and that's not what you want to do. So I think I'm going to use this photo. Actually, I actually have this downloaded already. So once you find the images that you want to use, some people use more than one, depends on the video, but this one's pretty simple, so I'll go ahead and use one one image. So once you have both of your images, you're just going to want to minimize, exit out, whatever, and boot up Photoshop. There's multiple ways of doing this. You can open them. Obviously you can open them as a file over here. The way I usually do it is I go here and I find the images that I'm going to be working with. So I usually just go ahead and I put that one in there. So that's what I'm going to be using once that loads up, like so. And then I go ahead and I find the other image that I'm going to be using, which is in here, I believe. Right here. Don't want to open it up. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Bad idea. Let's do that. Drop that in there. And then so once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and exit out, and I maximize that again. So this is what it looks like. You can zoom in if you really want to. If you're going to go, you can go 100%. That's a little too big now that I think of it. Let's go with 75. Alright, that's a little bit better because I'm not going to be editing the entire thing. I'm just going to be doing a little bit. Actually, you know what? That's not looking good either. So indecisive. Alright, 50%. That looks pretty good. So basically what I'm going to do here is now you have full control over this image. So if you hold shift and you obviously use this extender tool, I call it the extender tool, you can extend it and use the same dimensions. It's kind of blurry, but let's keep it. Let's do that, and let's rotate it just a little bit this way, and edit that, maybe make it a little bit bigger, and place the file. And that's what we're going to want to do. File is place, and actually now that I think of it, I think I'm going to add a YouTube logo. Oh my god, I cannot type. This keyboard placement is not the absolute best in the world, guys. YouTube logo, and then obviously add PNG at the end of it, because there we go, PNG. So now we have these great logos. Let's try to find one that's pretty big. I'm gonna have to definitely resize that. It's not even a PNG file. There we go, perfect. Save image as, just save it in my YouTube thumbnail folder. And since it comes up here, it's just pretty easy. You can just take it and drop it in there somewhere like that. And I can go ahead and resize this just a little bit, like so. Rotate that just a little bit as well, and just place it. Place the file there. Looks pretty good in my opinion. And now we get to add the text for this. And my mouse froze. Okay. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. What's going on? Okay, I'm back. So now we're going to want to go ahead and do text features, which we're going to just put the text up here. I use Molot or Mollet or however you pronounce that text font. That is a downloadable font. It does not come native to Photoshop, so you are going to have to download that. But it's pretty simple. Just search up Mollet font. There should be a website that has, download link. Download it, and you're going to place that into your folder for fonts. And the way you access that, what is going on with my mouse? This is so weird. It's like it's not wanting to move. Okay, basically, okay, this is really weird. I seriously cannot use my mouse. This is bad. You just want to go to fonts, and there should be like some sort of folder that appears. You just want to place that in there. There'll be a file that you place in there. That's what you do. So basically for this, I'm just going to type in how, and then place move. That's a little too big, so we're going to definitely need to resize. This is really bad, guys. I don't know why my mouse is doing this. I'm sorry if it's a little bit laggy. 300 font looks pretty good. And then you're going to do another text layer, and then I usually just do I, and then place that there, and then do another text layer. This is just the way I do it. And then do make, and then put that there, and then do another text layer, and my, and then at, okay. Did not even mean to do that. Anyway, that's alright. Hit my there, and then one last text layer down here. Thumbnails. That one came out too big. Okay, which is fine because we can just move all these logos up just a tad bit. You know what I mean? They don't have to be directly over there. And we can move thumbnails down just a tad bit as well, so it does not encompass the entirety of it. This is just how I make my thumbnails, and obviously this is the thumbnail I'm making for my video, so I want this to look actually somewhat clean. That one looks, honestly, for me, just it looks pretty good, to be quite honest with you. So now that's pretty much it for the thumbnail portion of it. Now we're just gonna go to blending options, and this is what I usually do for all of them. I hit stroke. It says at 21 pixels. You want to do 21 or 3. I mean, you want to do 21. Go to drop shadow. Go to gradient overlay, and then I usually just do orange. This is the generic one that I usually do for pretty much all of my videos. So then it does get kind of tedious, but since there's not that many layers of text, it doesn't take that long. And since I'm very, very used to doing this isn't incredibly difficult for me anymore. It used to take me quite a long time to get this done, but it doesn't anymore. So 21 on the stroke, drop shadow, and then orange, yellow, gradient overlay. So just hit stroke, go over the pixels, 21, hit the drop shadow function, go to gradient overlay, pick the gradient, orange, yellow, orange is what it's named, and hit OK. And then we're going to do thumbnails. That's the last one, stroke, 21, drop shadow, gradient overlay, orange, yellow, orange, okay. And that's it, guys. That's all I do for my thumbnails. The last thing I do for it is I hit file, save as, and it's gonna bring this up, and then usually I'll save it as something like, you know, thumbnail tut or something, not tutu. Thumbnail tutorial. I cannot see my keyboard. So thumbnail tutorial, and then you want to save it as a JPEG, or you can save it as a PNG file. It doesn't really matter, but I usually save it as a JPEG. This is what it's going to save as, and then you can save it anywhere. Usually just save mine to the desktop because they're most easy. And then I use maximum because the max for YouTube is 2 megabytes. So it tells you how large these files are going to be. You obviously can do like 6. But since you know, this is less than 1 megabyte and I can easily upload that, I usually just do maximum quality for my thumbnails. I hit OK, it's already done rendering. You hit exit, you say no, you go back to your desktop, and lo and behold, guys, where is it? Right over here, we have a wonderful, wonderful thumbnail that now I'm going to be uploading for this video. So, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does help me out. And if you really want to help me out as well, subscribe and like, because I post videos basically every day. I really enjoy making them for you guys. This was a tutorial on how I make my thumbnails using Photoshop CS6. If you did enjoy, leave a like and a subscribe. My name is Variety, and I'm signing out, guys. Peace.